Resolute Bliss Publishing presents Thursday Night Live with your hosts, B-Red, Rick, Rick! Well, you don't love that intro?
I love it, man. I don't know what to say.
You know what it costs to get those stage curtains?
Probably a lot of money. you may have overpaid, though.
No doubt. I see my closet doors open behind me, so the ghost opened it.
Oh, is today the story about you coming out of the closet? I'm pretty excited.
No,
about
that's a different story.
that.
All right,
okay.
Rick, let's get him out here. Everybody knows who's here. Let's
Whoa,
welcome Rick.
wait a minute.
Okay, what do you mean, wait a minute?
Is he here in our house?
Yeah, he could be. He's probably in that closet. I don't know.
No.
There's so
Can I
much
tell
stuff
you
in
how
that closet.
excited I am about this guy? Can I?
Tell us.
I'm excited.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Bring him in.
All of a sudden,
Is that like a genie in the bottle or something?
there he is.
Well, that's a weird name. Grant Nirvana Comics.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang
it's
it.
true. I gotta shut this door. It's gonna
We'll
drive
show
me
up.
crazy.
Here, well, let me change that.
No, don't worry about that.
Yep, too late.
All right, hey, B-Rad,
Awesome.
before we start today,
Yeah.
can you throw up the graphic I've got there?
Yeah, I can do that. What's this tiger doing? Or is this a panther?
There we go.
What do you think, man? It's for you.
It's for me.
It's for you.
On the brink.
Well, it's not on the brink anymore.
It's not.
It's not. I think it's all over, isn't it?
What's
Come on.
all over? The
There's
suspense is
something-
killing me.
Florida Panther is on a oil slick there.
All right, now I get it. That is true.
All right. So, Brad is a huge fan, and I am a fan too, of the Florida Panthers in the Sunshine State. The Florida Panthers, after struggling in the first two games going to overtime, are now back to back
So
Stanley-
close. Yeah.
Stanley Cup champions. So,
And it was all they were all good games. I mean, I
They
guess
were
if
good.
you're an Oilers fan, they probably weren't the great for you. But I
no,
mean,
they'd be horrible.
when three games go to overtime and there's a 5-on-5 brawl, what else do you want in your Stanley Cup?
You just can't beat it.
So yeah, it's crispy 90-something degrees down there for the last game.
Ooh.
And then I guess I don't know if you saw the news today. They've already dropped the cup and damaged it. It get a little sweaty hands. Last year it was okay. People got mad they came to the beach, but this year it's been dropped.
Is it tradition still to drink out of it?
Oh, they've they've definitely been consuming some liquid from the cup.
Can we bring it up here and try some? So,
I think it. Well, that's true because the National Predators have got close in I think 2016 or 2017. But right, we've never had one in the state. So yeah, maybe
pretty awesome.
one day.
congratulations, Brad. I know you're excited. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the teams I follow. I mean, I used to live there. It's kind of, going to a hockey game when it's 90 degrees out is a very weird feeling. But yeah, it's pretty cool out there. Pretty cool. And one of my buddies used to ride his dirt bike where the Bank of America Center or arena is now. That's also kind of cool. All right, what we got? Tell us some news from our two geniuses. Yeah,
Oh,
you guys are in the know.
okay. I'll say first. Yeah, so Dynamite finally left Diamond Comics.
I don't believe
Like
it.
a breakup that was going to happen, wasn't
We
it?
all knew it was coming, and we're all thrilled that it's finally happened because we haven't been able to get Dynamite books for a couple weeks now. And there wasn't any announcement saying that there's like, oh, hey, guys, Dynamite books are going to be a little late, whatever. They just stopped showing up, and then we find some news articles from Bleeding Cool saying, oh, yeah, Diamond owes Dynamite $500K, and they have their books and are holding them for ransom. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen. That's just, comic book distribution right now. So
So you said, I got to ask Grant, you made a comment though. We knew it was happening.
Yeah.
But you said you were glad about it.
Yeah.
So tell us why, from a retailer's standpoint, that you're glad about it.
So we've actually not had normal comic book distribution since before Thanksgiving of last year. You know, right around Thanksgiving, that's when all the delays started happening. I didn't know that Diamond was going to declare bankruptcy in January, and that was not fun hearing that. But since then, we've actually been having issues. That's almost a year of problems of distribution. So, you know, from the start of this problem, Diamond has been dishonest, has been, you know, I was going to say misleading. It's the same thing as being dishonest, but they've lied to courts. They've lied to their retail partners, and nothing they have said has happened. So each week, every time Dynamite books showed up, and they're very popular right now with our customers. You know, Brad, I think you get a couple titles from Dynamite, actually.
Oh yeah, I was all excited about the Jay Lee covers for Red Sonja.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so like our shop, we take our pull boxes seriously. They're not suggestions. They're not maybe they'll show up. It's you pulled it, you get it, you got it. And we haven't been able to do that with 100% accuracy since November of last year. So yeah, I'm thrilled that they're going to be changing to Lunar, which has always been both professional, and on time, early, whatever you want to call it. There are issues like any distribution. It's not perfect, but you know, we actually started moving our distribution out of Diamond before they declared bankruptcy, and we were just going to go ahead and take the loss of 5% on our discount because they, you know, we weren't getting our books in time. Is that me?
Yep. There you go.
Is that better? Okay. So yeah, that's where I'm at for that.
Awesome.
No, that's good because I mean that's like a restaurant not getting their food. I mean,
Exactly.
is what it comes down to. And I know that, you know, we've probably heard our story about how Rick had it all set up for us to get back into Diamond, and we're like, well, hold on, you want us to pay first before we play? I don't know about that.
Yeah, we actually I was charged north of $5,000 this year for I don't know what, for product I haven't received. They just
Nice.
it was weird, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's always nice.
you try to call them, they're like, "There's no one here to answer."
Well,
You know?
no, Grant, if you want to go ahead and put $5,000 into us for a product that's not delivered, we'd be awesome to help.
You have grossly misunderstood my financial situation. It wasn't, oh, hey, we lost $5,000. You know, that's funny. It's more of, how badly do we need McKay? No, I'm joking.
So how you'd have to go into like some giant lawsuit with like 40 other people to get, or probably more than 40. That's just a number. But yeah, I mean, to try to even get your money back, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and at that point, it's just
you're going to lose money trying to get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. So you know, we still use. I mean, we still order stuff from Diamond. We sometimes get it, but this is us moving away from it. And I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And that kind of leads into Rick. You got some news kind of along those same lines. That
So I was a fan as a kid from and I may have the dates wrong, but from 1990 to 1999. Every Christmas, something came to my house, and I was so excited. And I'd flip through it, and it was the Toys R Us catalog. It was awesome. You had all the toys that were coming out, the new action.
You didn't even give me a chance to guess.
Well, you would have guessed like something way off the wall. I don't know. And the other thing I looked forward to, though, happened 12 times a year, and that was the Diamond previews. And so I think they did that. They started back in 1985. I could be wrong about the dates. I'm not sure. But they just announced. I'm sorry?
I was being funny. Go on.
They announced the other day that starting, I think, on the 20th, all the previews now will be online. There is no more preview catalogs. That is something that, as a comic book fan, that I loved. It gave me a preview of what's coming up. You know, when we first published, we ran a lot of ads and previews and stuff like that. It was just it was nice and thick for everybody had seen it. Everybody's had one at one time or another. But for 12 times a year, you got to see everything that was coming out, and you'd see a lot of independent stuff that was off the wall. And I loved having it. There's James. He's on. But We were just talking bad about you a second ago, buddy. But anyway,
I wasn't.
liar. But I loved having it. So I'm going to miss having the previews catalog. That's going to be really sad for me. So
Yeah, it's cool, man.
I do have a good announcement to make that I discovered. So I am actually a Marvel Zombies fan, and
wow, shocker!
And I am so excited. And when I say excited, I'm gonna throw this up here. I'm so excited about a title that they have announced that's coming out. You can throw it up there, B-Rad. I am unbelievably excited about the Fantastic Four zombies that are coming out.
Okay.
I really am. And people are always shocked that I'm such a fan about this, but I'm super excited.
Yeah.
There's some good titles with Marvel Zombies. They've had some cool stories. It's always best when it doesn't take itself too seriously, of course, but they're popular for a reason.
Hey, I go to the Five Below and buy the little figures too. I'm crazy about those stuff. So
yeah, I remember being 9 years old, working in a comic book shop. Hey, can I get Captain America? You don't need to read that crap. Here's something. Here's some Vertigo, Independence.
You had a good influencer on you, my friend.
Just wanted to read Captain America, man.
It didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. All right, that was my big news. Those were my two things: the Diamond previews online, and then I was just excited personally about the Fantastic Four Marvel Zombies.
Well, the entirety of the Knoxville Comic Collective agrees with you that it's cool.
The hive mind.
The hive mind. That's right. I think that's almost 500 people.
Well, I think we're going to actually. So, Grant and I have an announcement for you, Brad.
Oh.
Yeah, we're taking over Resolute Bliss, and we're going to make it the Resolute Bliss Zombies. So Moonblade's going zombie. 42 Teeth is going to be a zombie. We're just going to take it to the nth degree. We're actually super excited about it.
We're actually replacing the O with an A, calling it Zambies too, so it's like fresh. It's cool.
Yeah. I get to read Dogman. That's it. Yeah. The Ferret. I can't tell me how many times I remember reading The Ferret.
I like The Ferret. I thought it was a good story.
I know. Apparently you did.
I gave it to you, I think.
No, that's cool. No, I would be very shocked if you and Les didn't do a zombie book. I don't know what you're waiting on. You've got everything else going. So, yeah, you might as well do a zombie book.
With Les and I are doing way too much right now. Why'd you throw me and Les? I said it was Grant and I that were doing the zombies.
Grant can write it. Les can draw it.
I've actually written a zombie story.
Yeah, we've been waiting on it. That's right. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I guess I should get that over to you.
Didn't it have a train in it or something?
It did, yes.
Yeah. Trains are always cool.
They are. I like trains.
Trains, planes, and automobiles. Is this two zombies laying in a bed and said those aren't pillows?
That's awesome. All right. So we're talking about books. Go ahead, Rick. Tell us what you read this week that you liked.
Okay. So as Brad knows, every week for some crazy reason, I have found a Spider-Man book that I keep recommending. And of course, Kevin Smith wrote Spider-Man, and Brad has just had it with me making fun or picking Marvel Spider-Man over and over and over. He's making fun.
Every time you're on.
This week, I am not picking a Spider-Man book. I am actually, thanks to our guest, by the way, that guy sitting at the bottom, I'm actually recommending Free Planet this week.
I told you would like it.
What?
Let me tell you why I like Free Planet. Now, Grant did not tell me anything about it, and I was sitting there, and Grant and I were talking about this, and I said, yeah, I keep picking Spider-Man. I mean, I love the Spider-Man Predator stuff. I'm an Ultimate Spider-Man fan. Brad has spent years and years saying, you keep preaching the independence. Why do you keep picking Marvel Spider-Man?
You're getting senile in your old age.
Huh?
You're getting senile in your old age.
Speak up. I really didn't hear you. What did you say? So anyway, let me tell you why I like Free Planet.
Is it the robot sex?
Oh my gosh, that totally caught me off guard. Toward about 3/4 of the end of the book, all of a sudden there's robot sex. Well, it's a robot and a female's like, what the crap did Grant push on me? I think that was a big reveal, Grant. But anyway,
I have questions now too, by the way.
I still have questions. They didn't reveal everything about that yet. but it was a cool scene.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why I like this book, though, and there is a reason. And Grant probably knows me well. This is not one of those quick reads by any means.
Not at all.
This is building a huge storyline. It's got, you can't sit there and say, I'm going to read this in 5 minutes, I'm done, or I'm running to the bathroom or reading. This is not one of those. This is, you sit on your couch, you turn on the light, you get something to drink, and you're going to be sitting there for about 20, 30 minutes understanding how this universe is being built. And they take a little time to spoon feed you. They start developing it. And the other thing is, instead of it building up to a big revolution kind of story, like a Star Wars would, they actually are at the end of a revolution. So it's kind of a different take on it. It's like, well, what do we do now? And when I first start reading it, I'll tell you, I'm like, okay, this is a lot of reading for something that's already happened. But then you start slowly getting a feel that's heading somewhere else. And like I said, it's not a typical Marvel DC read at all, which is why I like it. I like comic book stories that tell a deeper story, that there's a lot going on. You better be paying attention, because I got a feeling if you didn't pay attention, issue number 2 is not going to make sense.
Exactly. And one of the nice things about that book is with our partnership with Image Comics, they actually gave me the first 3 issues to read in PDF. And I actually called them up. I'm like, because I was getting a chance to talk to the creator, and I was like, yeah, guys, I mean, it's a great book, but this is like a novel. They're like, oh, you got the first 3 issues. That's not all issue 1. I'm like, oh, thank God. I was like, what's going on here? But, it is a different book. It's not a little off. It's definitely outside of your norm, and that's the best about comics. You can have just these crazy stories that would not translate any other way. And that's why there's always going to be a place for comics, in my opinion.
Well, and and Brad, and I've talked about this before on this show and to other people, that's my whole love about comic books is, while I was a Daredevil Silver Surfer fan, by the way, I did pick up the Silver Surfer variant. I was okay with the story, by the way. I didn't love it, but I'm going to have it signed this weekend.
Something going on with that book. It's a deeper story than we're thinking, I think. It's going somewhere, yeah.
I think I know where it's going, and I'll be okay when it gets there. But I'm going to have Romita sign it for me this weekend. But anyway, going back to the comic book stories, where I love Daredevil and Silver Surfer and have always loved those storylines. I got into comic books, or I really got into comic books deeper because it was more complex. There can be other stories. It can be more than some superhero fighting in tights kind of thing. And I feel like that's where this story has gone. It's much deeper. There's a huge universe, and like I said, you've got to be able to follow it and track it. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
So what about you?
Well, how many pages is the? Is it or is it just?
It seems like it's 745.
Okay,
a lot of dialogue, a lot of letter box. It's a dense read.
I'm going to tell you, to what Grant just said, it's not a 20. I bet it's not a 20. No, it's a 28-page book without me counting, with lots of.
Show me some of the art. Show some of the art up there. Okay.
That's the Robot Sex, by the way.
Okay. I don't know if we can do that.
Well, how about this then? Is that clean enough for you?
Hold on, let me make you big. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's a great book. The Image has really been killing it lately. That's all I can say.
So see where it's really getting to heavy dialogue and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I see.
I like comic books that really build a story and really get you into it. So I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Grant did a good recommendation. A+ on that one.
Nice. What else you got there, Grant? No, go ahead, Grant.
So I actually finally got caught up on Duke. I'm going through and trying to get caught up on all the Energon universe titles.
Yeah.
And so, good God, Transformers is amazing. And I went ahead and finally sat down and read all the way through Duke. I'd read the first issue when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Great title. I love everything that they're doing in this stuff. So
yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's been that. I've also been going back and reading the New 52 run of Jonah Hex, the Jimmy Palmiotti.
That's my boy.
He's got an omnibus coming out later this year of that run, and he says if you come at a con with that omnibus, I'll put a remark in it. And I want that. Nice. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to read it first. So I'll go through and I'll go back and reread like certain runs, especially from DC and Marvel, of course, too. Like I not too long ago, I finished up Christopher Priest, The Crew from Marvel, Ramble miniseries back in the '90s. Love that book. But yeah, I've been trying to get a couple of my backlog DC titles read. So I'm reading some Jonah Hex right now.
No, he did such a good job on that, and then they released that horrible movie and brought him on the set just to see how bad it was.
You said a horrible movie?
Yeah.
But you know what? That's probably why he's doing so well on The Deadly Tales of Gunslinger, because he had a lot of Western practice. So yeah, that's cool, man. It's cool you're reading it. Yeah, you're right. Duke was pretty cool. That was a very different spin on Duke.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. Well, let's just go ahead and show you all the master plan right here.
Let's see it. Are you sucking up to Billy Tucci?
Right there. So you can either call this Return of the Warrior 4 or Haikyuu, whichever one you'd like to. But yeah, that's the other cover there.
We just had that come in the shop today.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You got to know people, Grant. You got to know people. As you can tell from the...
It came from Diamond.
If you can tell from the top wall there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, so Grant, one of my favorite scenes in the last Starsky and Hutch movie that came out, the new one that they revitalized, Snoop Dogg had a brand new car. And they said, hey, where'd you get that car? It doesn't even come out till 6 months. This is what Brad did with those comic books. And he's like, Snoop Dogg said, I know somebody that knows how to steal some stuff. That's all I can say.
Maybe. I don't know about that. But yeah. Man, I mean, it was just such a... I remember, going through reading She back in the early 90s, and I just enjoyed it. So it's always nice to see it back in comic book shops, that's for sure. And as much money as he's making, he sounds like he's going to keep cranking some out. So
yeah, my favorite comic actually only comes out like a couple times a year. It's Hellboy one shots. I love Hellboy. That's my favorite.
Yeah, Rick's a big Hellboy fan. Matter of fact, I was trying to see if I could see his cool. He's got a pretty cool Hellboy statue back there. Yeah,
Hellboy statue in first appearance.
Yeah,
and signed by a guy named Mike Migalo. I don't know.
Did you see the? Was the last movie called The Crooked Man?
Yes, love that movie.
I wasn't expecting that one. I'll tell you that.
It's so the only bad thing about that movie is the giant spider fight at the beginning that was clearly thrown in last minute. But other than that, that is the coolest low budget superhero film I've ever seen. It's not really a superhero.
Yeah, film. I guess it is a superhero film. You're right.
I mean, you could call it that. It's a horror movie. It's an Appalachian horror movie, just like it was supposed to be.
Yeah. It was not what I was expecting. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's not a Del Toro film, but it is a lot of fun.
Have you seen that one yet, Rick?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had. That's cool. All right, so what's going on with the Paradox Kickstarter?
You know what? We have awesome news. I'm extremely excited about this.
The Hive Mind's been reading it too and loves it.
Officially, we are at 97% funded. Woo!
Oh, so close! So close!
However, I'm holding something back. We are actually fully funded, and I just have not. Somebody had sent us in a donation actually from a podcast I did last week, and I just have not had a chance to apply it because I have to look how you do it and make sure it doesn't look like it's coming to me because they want to send it to us for us to put it in. But we are fully funded for Paradox. Super excited. We are going to print. Of course, all 6 issues are drawn, lettered, inked, colored, all that kind of stuff anyway. So we're really ready anyway. We just need to go to print. So I'm going to go ahead. We're actually talking to our booth mate this weekend, and I will be getting Matt Wilson, who is an artist, but also is my letterer. He'll be giving me the final letters on it. We just talked about this about an hour and a half ago, and get it sent. I'll go ahead and get it sent off to print. So yeah, we are fully funded unless something weird happens in the past couple hours and next few hours, I guess. But we also have over this weekend, we have a couple guys that are going to be helping us out. And we're going to be making our last final push for Paradox to not only be fully funded, but to really push that number up. So
Paradox is fully funded.
awesome. Super happy. It's like winning the Stanley Cup. Hide behind me.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
drop it.
man. That's right. Everybody's saying congrats. Absolutely.
Thank you. So super excited about that. It's been a fun journey. It's been our first journey as Resolute Bliss, Brad and myself. So we've had a learning process along the way, one that kind of made us both mad a couple of days ago. But
right. So where's the Moonblade Kickstarter?
Where is it, Brad?
I mean, it's been built. So
what?
So some of y'all may hear that people are all the time getting frustrated at Kickstarter, and like Brian Polito started his own coffin launch, and there's a bunch of these other spinoffs, and I can tell you why. If you try to ask Kickstarter a question, they will answer it. They will. Yeah, 4 to 5 days later. Right. And there's no quick return if you answer back to that.
And there is no phone number that works either, by the way.
Oh, you don't need no phones? No. So what happened is Resolute Bliss, we filled out all the paperwork on the Kickstarter as a partnership between Rick and I. So they know there's 2 people there. So what we thought would happen is, as Rick's Kickstarter is wrapping up, mine would be in the preview stage. Not launched, but at least in the preview stage. So everything's been built and done. I go to click the previews and it says, oh no, we won't even review your comic book right now because your account has one live. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you have a partnership. I'm not really sure what a giant corporation does. Maybe they don't use Kickstarter. I don't know. Maybe that's why Polito's off there, because he's obviously going to have, more than one book going most of the time. So
I am betting that's why Polito is off there, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a little frustrating. So Rick's Kickstarter wraps up Monday
night.
Tuesday I'll try to get mine into preview mode because it has to get reviewed and approved to make sure we're not selling anything we shouldn't be selling, and then they let it go to preview mode, and then from there it goes to launch mode. So that kind of stinks because I'd like to tell people at Heroes Con, hey, go check out the preview. But I got some Moonblade flyers that'll take them to the website where they can enter their, maybe Indiegogo. Margrave, you must have been in the conversation we had, because if we were smart, mine would be on Indiegogo launching as Rick's was finishing up. Absolutely, yeah.
We just didn't know.
Oh, and somebody did tell us to do that last year. Might have been the guy who created this, but
I think it was Billy Tucci. I really do.
And I didn't listen to him. But yeah, it's a learning curve. But what is cool is I do have books. So not exactly. Oh man, the aliens got him.
I'm okay.
I want to talk about the. I'm okay. I love that. Why did you have to turn off your camera, Grant? And I'm very uncomfortable at this moment. I'm okay. Did that issue of Free Planet get to you? I don't.
You showed the wrong page.
Sorry. Basically, my laptop, because it's been dropped a few times, does not have much of a battery, and it was dying, so I had to move my cable here. There we go.
Bandits. You don't need no bandits.
Hey, I saw this on Facebook. What is this about, Grant?
Okay. Yeah, so we were trying to think of a funny joke to do about me being at the shop by myself, with Jasmine gone, McKay gone, the usual crew. We got James and Shipley, and Drew was there today, but basically for the rest of the weekend, it's myself, James, and Shipley only, because everyone's gone. So it's obviously Grant home alone. Instead of the Wet Bandits, we said the Broken Slab Bandits, and it just sounded funny.
I was going to ask you that because I didn't know what that was about. So.
Yeah, everyone's latched onto that for some reason. I'm like, really? My face is on, Kevin's face, and McKay and Jazz are like, coming out from the Tennessee, the World's Fair Park thing, and but they see the Broken Slab Bandits, and everyone latched onto that. So
rock and roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not on Kickstarter, but this weekend at Heroes Con, I do have some books. So what finally came in that I'm excited for is my tour book.
Hey, there we go.
With
Look how
all
pretty that is.
What a bribe at customs will get you.
Yeah.
Look how shiny.
No, my books are all printed in the USA.
Ah, okay.
Thanks for outing me, Grant. I appreciate it.
But it is a wraparound foil. It's pretty cool.
Can you pull it out?
I can always pull it out, but let's take a look at the comic book.
Matt, get that out of here. No,
the backup sale was not approved.
Oh God.
It is shiny. It is very shiny. So what's different about my tour book is it is 3 stories. I don't want to call them origin stories, but they are like day one. So Moonblade is kind of like day one of Moonblade. Maybe what made her choose Moonblade. 42 Teeth is like day one of 42 Teeth, right when Radek decides what he's going to do. Now, more of an origin story is the Savage Axes of Wolfheart. It is more of how she became a warrior type thing. But these stories are not like in the back of any issue. They're not anywhere. You can only get these in the tour edition. So I'm pretty excited about it.
So how can I buy these?
You got to come see me. You got to come see me at Heroes Con, store signing.
That's awesome. I love that. That's the type of stuff that Bad Idea does. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got to come say hello at least. Now, maybe you don't have to say hello. Maybe you just point. But either way, yeah, something like that.
So what you're saying is tour editions, you're not going to get them up on Kickstarters. We're not getting them through websites. You got to actually come and talk to us and say, hey, I'd like to know what's in that tour edition. Can I buy it?
And it's for some reason the page count's slipping my mind, but it's pretty thick. It's a thick dude.
That's awesome.
That's for sure. Yeah. But yeah, 3 stories. The stories are only in this book. Can't get it anywhere else.
Awesome. Awesome.
The other thing that came in that I'm very excited about is, so when you're trying to pick somebody to do this, we don't ever know if it's a real person, if it's a scam, or the review's accurate. But I went ahead and ordered an allotment for the Kickstarter of metal covers. So this is aluminum.
Oh, man.
This is the Gus Mock cover here. Super shiny there.
Gus Mock will be at Heroes Con.
Right. You can pick up the tour book and go get it signed by Gus. And this guy will also be at the Hero Con.
Who is that?
Man, some guy who wrote Jonah Hex, then went to a horrible movie. Now he writes Deadly Tales of Gunslinger. This is Jimmy Palmiotti's. And same thing. It's solid metal. And obviously you can't tell how much it weighs, but they are very cool metal covers. So I'm excited about that. And they're both going to be at Heroes Con with me. And on top of being there, we're doing a show special on them. They will be 25% off at the show. So yeah, I'm pretty excited because that is the Moonblade story that in that book that will be on the Kickstarter when we get able to be reviewed and approved. I don't know what Mac's talking about here with Guardian Devil.
Palmiotti was on Guardian Devil, the Marvel Knights, and Joe Quesada and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mac knows him too. That's cool.
Yes.
That's cool. Not just on Ash. Rock and roll. But yeah, I'm stoked. Those books are there. Wherever I'm at from now on, maybe we might run out of metal covers, but I'll have tour books. So yeah, it's pretty cool thing.
Awesome. I'll read it on the ride up.
One of the guys who did the artwork for the first story is Matt Forsythe. He's I want to say like Northern Kentucky, Ohio area. He's super cool dude. He does a lot of manga anime style stuff. He's got a really awesome book called Bound. It's by Hexapus Inc. is his publishing or his brand. And yeah, he killed it, man. I was super happy to have him do the artwork there on the first story, and met him at Nashville Comic Con, so he's pretty local to us. And so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one, and Rick's glad to see something on my side of the table finally. Other than hey, we might be making books soon.
I'm just glad for you. I know it's a long process, and it's fun to have stuff out to be able to talk to people about.
Yeah,
so I think it's awesome.
I'm excited about it. But yeah, Heroes Con is going to be great. I mean, it's always comic books. I mean, that's what it is. You don't have to worry about standing in line for somebody that was a TV show and stuff. And yeah, it's comic books, and it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. What are you guys looking forward to at Heroes Con?
Well, I'm not going, so
Well, yeah, but you're sending stuff.
okay. Actually, this is probably the most excited I've ever been for a con, even though I'm not going to be there. This is the first time our shop is setting up a table there, and we're
Yeah.
already going to work with our other vendors that we partner with, like Capture Collectibles and Buzzard Brothers. They've already been hanging out with them, working on different projects. Oh, of course, Epicos. Can't forget Epicos. Love you guys. So this is I'm really excited. Jasmine, who is so much better at conventions than I am, like when Capture is choosing like witnesses that they needed for shows, like we'll take Jasmine, not Grant. So, this is her in charge, and I'm really excited for her to be able to do that. All of our team has different creators that have been assigned to talk to. 'Cause, we want to keep bringing that con experience to our customers. Then, of course, what's really cool is we're getting to work with a lot of the artists that we have already worked with in the past, such as Matt Wilson, your letterer there, and several other artists that are there with our exclusives. So we're making sure we're telling all the people like on our table, hey, buy this here, go get signed over there, and like we want to make sure we're being able to support those artists too. So I'm really excited for already how awesome this con's already been.
Oh, yeah.
Jasmine got to hang out and participate in a private signing with Scotty Young earlier today. So
Wow.
she's helping out Capture with that. And we've got a few other creators we'll be hanging out with this time. So it's one of those. I'm really excited to see how this goes. With our first big table.
Yeah.
We want to keep growing that, especially with other regional cons. So if we can do this here, we can do it other places, and just keep growing the business.
Yeah, Sweet talk some more big artists to come to town.
Yeah, she has about 3 meetings she has to do tomorrow. Most we've already talked to. I got an email on the way here, actually, from a huge artist that we may be ending the year on that I can't tell you yet because it's just so bizarre that, on a year that we've already had Ramos and Quesada, it's like, what's going to happen next,
Yeah. Yeah, what is going to happen next? I mean,
I don't know. We were joking about it the other day. I was like, imagine someone like hates us or something and thinks there's some like master evil plan going on. It's just me in a chorus saying, well, I guess Joe Quesada's coming here now. Okay, how'd that happen?
yeah, man, that is.
But
That's pretty big.
we'll see what happens next. But we are so excited for the next couple creators on deck that we're working on scheduling. There's several that have already committed to come. We're just trying to fit them in at the right intervals. We also want to avoid other stores. We've talked with a couple other stores that are having guests this year. We want to make sure we're not going to be having them around there. There's other stores we're collaborating with, like we did with Snake Eyes earlier this year when we brought Todd Nuck to them. We want to keep doing stuff like that next year for their show because their show is so awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah, you guys were our neighbors there with Comics Exchange.
Yeah,
and that was so fun getting just to hang out with your fellow comic shop, like Bill at Comics Exchange. It was so fun. We want to keep doing stuff like that. So yeah, lots of new fun stuff on the horizon, and the Joe Quesada thing was such a great collaboration, and then getting to continue that collaboration after you left with the exclusive that we purchased from them. We want to keep doing stuff like that with these artists. So we don't want it just to be the artist comes to the shop and leaves. We want it to have an impact afterwards. Like Ramos did that actually. We've stayed in touch with Ramos's people, and we've found a couple other ways to collaborate with them, and it's been able to help make the shop better, help them out, and we're still working on that. Well, that's what we want to keep doing.
Yeah, that's great. I almost want to ask you a loaded question, like how does Joe Quesada find out about Nirvana Comics?
Well, there's a couple different ways. So I've known his agent for a while. We met at my first con I really went to, which was MegaCon. And a mutual friend of ours will show me the ropes of the big cons, and that's something we've been learning. Conventions, they aren't just there's two types of things that goes on at a convention. There's the front facing thing, which is you get to hang out with all the creators, the celebrities, the customer aspect. Then there's all the meetings going on behind the scenes, which is so cool. It sounds nefarious, but it really is neat because there's so much collaboration. These people know each other. It's kind of like a small town essentially.
Yeah.
So as a kind of getting to know you, I went ahead and bought Joe Quesada's banner from his agent. He signed it or did a remark, but really he started hearing stories about our shop. Luckily we've been very blessed with great customers who have voted for us for a few awards. So he had already heard about us a little bit. And the other thing
What
was,
awards have you all won?
we've won the Image Select Retailer Award. We're actually the first ever winner of that award, which is still the coolest thing ever. The fact that we're the first ever winner of that we were voted for, and that's also same thing. It's not just a one done thing. It's also opened up the door for a partnership with Image, which has helped us out a lot. We've continued to help them out a lot when they need hard sales numbers for big books like Battle Beast or Exquisite Corpses, or for us to support their creators like the book Free Planet. So that was an award, and then we've been nominated for the Will Eisner Spirit of Comics Retail Award. We've been nominated 3 times in a row. So we're hoping to win someday. But
that's pretty hard one, isn't it?
and for those that don't know, the Will Eisner Spirit of Comics Retail Award is only about a select dozen are nominated worldwide a year. With the award being handed out at San Diego Comic-Con. This is kind of like the Oscar night of comic books, and they do have the retailer award. So that's opened up a lot of doors for us as well. And again, that goes back to just Knoxville's awesome comic book community voting for us, supporting us. But yeah, Joe. So when with Joe Quesada, though, how that happened was I was trying to get Christopher Priest's phone number to have him come up from Atlanta. We just hung out with him at Lexington Comic Con. By us going to these different cons, working as witnesses, we've been able to meet a lot of creators. But I was trying to get his phone number from Quesada's agent. He's like, "Oh, you should have Joe Quesada at your shop for the launch of Marvel Knights: The World to Come." And I was like, "Ha, yeah, sure. How much?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry. He's going to his buddy's shop anyway." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, that makes sense." Right. And then a week later, he texts me. He's like, "All right, he fumbled. What do you got?" And I'm like, "Okay." So I called Jasmine. I'm like, "Jasmine, I'm going to say this as quickly as possible. I have to write a pitch for Joe Quesada to come to our store." But they just loved what they heard about our store. They came here and they had a blast. We've continued to speak with them too. They actually mailed us some dog treats for Caleb. So that was really sweet. But also to bringing Joe Quesada to a town that he's never been to launch Marvel Knights, that doesn't happen. So luckily, Humberto Ramos' agent, Joseph Damon, who's become a great friend, he went to bat for us saying, "Hey, this Knoxville is something special." So just by having, I think that definitely helped. Probably having Ryan Stegman and some other great creators at Comics Exchange probably helped. So they decided to come in and had a great time.
That's awesome. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
It was a blast.
I was looking around here. I had some
you
candy
ask me
bar.
You gonna ask me what I'm doing at Heroes Con?
Yeah, what are you doing at Heroes Con?
I'm gonna get it signed.
Heck yeah.
Is that the only book you're taking this year?
Well, you've got my totes in the back of the vehicle right now, and I can't remember what all's in there, to be honest.
So you do have some other stuff. Okay.
Maybe.
Actually, Rick, make sure you talk to Jazz at our booth. Maybe we're actually we might be able to help you out with that line a little bit.
You're awesome. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Now you've got some store exclusives that you're selling there that nobody else is going to have, right?
Yes. A few of them, of course, are shared by Epicos. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But we have our Dick Tracy that Matt Wilson did. We'll have several of our TMNT covers that we share with Epicos and Syndicate Comics. We'll have our Night Watcher variant that Rob Rettiano, he'll be there. We'll have both our Flash Gordon and our G.I. Joe cover with Artist Made a Trip that will be there.
That's right. Yeah.
Lucky Devils, the new Image series, Scoot Starnes will be there. And then our Archie and Vampirella exclusives, Andrew Pepboy will be there.
Okay. That's quite a...
Oh, we have some Mark Spears, and the big one we have, though, is our gold foil Scotty Young covers that we got for the Image Select Retailer Award. And we actually have a Joe Quesada exclusive cover for Marvel Knights: The World to Come that you can't find anywhere else. And you won't be able to find anywhere else at Heroes Con. Now, there's one other vendor, Big Time Collectibles has it, but besides them, we're the only other vendor I know that has this currently.
Okay. Yeah, that's
and you
huge.
can find all this on our website.
Nice. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, if you can't make it to Heroes Con, you still can go to your website, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's crazy for, how many books you just listed right there?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We've been learning a lot with you guys talking about learning experiences like with the Kickstarters and stuff like that. Our learning experience was with store exclusives. Last year we had several. We did several last year. Some were more successful than others. Some have had issues. Some have had. It's an interesting market. We keep learning and we keep doing better. And really excited to see what we do next.
Yeah, I think everybody is.
Oh yeah, I was actually talking to Matt about one today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can beat him up on the way up there and get it out of him.
You say Matt or Matt?
Matt.
Oh, Matt.
Matt.
Oh,
he's our he's right across the hallway. He's our booth mate, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I fall asleep, I'm going to throw stuff at him. Keep me awake.
And I may already know stuff.
Yeah, we have one big exclusive I can't tell anyone about yet, except it has to do with a comic book character that we talked about at some point during this broadcast. That is the one that I'm most excited for, and we'll play with that in a couple more weeks.
It's definitely she. Definitely she.
I got love with you, Brad. Until I met you, I didn't know what she was.
Wait, is that some old guy?
What is this?
It was big, man. Yeah, it was big back in the day. He had crossovers with Daredevil. Yeah, it's big.
All right, just so that we don't run out of time, I want to hit a couple things really fast.
Shoot it.
All right, so first of all, Resolute Bliss is set up at Heroes Con. We are super excited. That'll be the first preview that a lot of people are going to get to see Brad's book, his 2 copies of Moonblade, the tour editions, the middle cover. That's awesome. It'll also be like kind of a big debut of the tour book, Resolute Bliss. Still don't know who.
And there's no better con you could be premiering this at than Heroes Con.
And that was Brad and my intent a long time ago. We love Heroes Con. We wanted to release things at Heroes Con. So we both get to have tour books there. We're super excited. We're going to be obviously pushing people on to the Kickstarter and introducing them to our website. We want them supporting us. Then, if I'm right, we are going to be at a con the following week.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And so if people around the Knoxville area, Morristown area and stuff like that, they can catch us there as well. We should be at Morristown Con. That'll be
Volunteer Valley. It's called Volunteer Valley.
And so that's going to be really cool. We'll be able to be set up there. So please, if you can't get to Heroes Con, come to that con and see us that following week.
24/7 is the hours on it?
24/7. It's 8 days in a row.
Golly. Oh, booth 725 at Heroes Con. That is where we are at. 725.
We're at booth 344.
And
I saw that. We got a little bit of a hike to get over to you.
Sorry, we'll get some 2 cans with the string talking.
Well, they said cell service is working better this year, so we're looking for that.
Now, let's hope.
Brad, you know how I like exclusives. You know that's my thing, right?
I do.
Can you throw up my image?
I can.
It's
Holy Toledo.
It is finished.
Oh
Gasp number 1 is done. This is a book that I've talked about. Somehow this one got finished a lot faster than we expected. This is where we're going to start rolling a lot of independent publishers and creators into. Did not expect this thing to be finished so quickly. I'm going to probably throw it up on Indiegogo or something like that very soon because we can't do anything else with it. But super excited. I want this to come out for Halloween. That's the goal. It's GASP stands for Giant Anthology of Small Publishers. We are using the original John Talbotton logo that was done years and years ago, but Les did the cover. It's beautiful. This book is actually 40 pages. It is not a 24-page book. The main story I wrote is 31 pages, and then there is a 6-page Apocalypse Girl that's never been seen that's also going to be in here. Number 2, I'm working on it right now. Number 2 is setting up a lot of the local creators. Those guys are working hard to all get their stuff in it. We just want to start establishing ourselves. We already had a GASP 0. This is GASP 1. GASP 2 will have a lot of local guys in it. So really excited about that. So this is our big reveal right here on this show tonight.
It looks really scary.
It's supposed to be scary.
Throw that back up and make it like the full image again real quick. You guys were talking about the logo. That's the original typeset logo. Like, I learned last year about the different logos and fonts that like big companies that DC and Marvel have like saved in their archives, and I think that's just so cool that you get to use the original text style from that. That is just so cool.
Well, I tell you, Grant, I love that logo so much. And Les and I talked about this back and forth, and he's going to do a couple of other little cool things to it that we're talking about. But I want that logo on a hat. I want it on a shirt.
I'm buying one if you got it, because I love it.
Yeah, I love. It's something that I have not embraced enough. And I looked at this and said, all right, Les, we're running with this. This whole series is going to do what I want to, because this goes back to something that Resolute Bliss wanted to do. We wanted to find a way to get more independent people, publishers, writers, artists out there. And we wanted to kind of help lead that charge. And by the way, thanks to your help, Grant, we had our first meeting a couple of weeks ago at your shop. I've already had 2 or 3 of them asking when's the next meeting. Since that was the end of May, the last day of May, we're going to shoot for sometime in July and talk to you about it. It's just we were trying to get through Heroes Con and
of course
everything else first, but we really want to.
And if you want to see who was there, we have the intro video on our YouTube channel, because there's a lot of people there.
Always happy to be in the meeting spot. We've noticed recently we've kind of become that third place comic shop, and I love that. So a place where you are at when you're not at work or at home, you're at our shop. So
yeah, that's so. There's no zombies in this gasp.
I didn't say that.
Oh. It's like I read your mind. It's like
Rick, you can go see 28 Years Later this weekend?
Oh, I love it.
I'm actually really excited to see it. And normally, if Brad and I didn't have Heroes Con, we pull off a little trick on Thursday afternoons and try to go see a big movie. And I would have gone and seen it, but I couldn't pull it off today. And maybe Mac will go see it with me on Saturday night, because I know Brad will be out of sleep. So
there might be a zombie Grant.
Oh my God! Here's your zombie Grant. I need a day off. Oh man,
that's awesome. But yeah, we're excited about Heroes Con. I guess we're leaving here in a few hours.
Yep. I'll call with that. Careful, interstate's still out.
Yeah, we're going to take some alternate routes. So yeah, it'll be exciting. But yeah, we're hopefully Rick stays awake while he's driving, because he says he can take the first shift. So
the first shift is 20 minutes, Brad.
I'll get closer to my normal.
Technically, the first shift is to the nearest Buc-ee's, which would be about 20, 30 minutes. Actually, right?
That would be awesome. Yes.
Yeah. Them's the rules. That's what that's.
Them's the rules.
I'm trying, guys. I'm sorry.
He's already said I'm okay, and now it's them's the rules.
So when do you think Gasp is going to be somewhere?
And I'm not joking. It is 100% done. It was done today. I got the final pages today. I got to get lettered. Matt and I are going to talk about that tomorrow. I want it out for Halloween. That's the goal. I know why you're smiling.
That's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah. We'll try to find you a phone book.
Why do we need a phone book?
I think he's saying he can drive if he had a phone book to sit on. That's awesome. All right. Anything else before we wrap this up? We're approaching our hour mark here.
Guys, I hope you have a fantastic time at Heroes Con. It's a great show. You guys know this. For those of you that don't know, last year my crew, we waited in line for several hours to get in at Heroes Con to get our customer SIGs, because we weren't vendors last year. These guys had a much easier way to get in, where you didn't have to wait in line. They just
whoa! We don't talk about our secrets. No.
Oh, you don't want to talk about that? Okay, gotcha. Well, we'll say that for a different day then.
That is definitely a good story, but probably not for now.
We have backup ones at work also, which I'm also amazed by.
Yes.
One day we're going to have a video cast of every way we've gotten into a show.
You should make a little zine of that, con artists.
All I know is the one in Nashville is the one that still cracks me up. So
I've not heard the Nashville story, but it's
Yeah.
I was blabbed on here. Maybe I shouldn't know it. I don't know.
Well, that one wasn't anything special. It was just, it was one of those things like the Knoxville fanboy was like 3 years ago, where all of a sudden there's 5,000 people in a line because they can't process anybody.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that one. I forgot
Oh.
about that. I was actually talking about the other Nashville show we got into, but yeah, you're right about.
And that would be too many. Oh no, yeah, that was that Nashville or was that Murfreesboro? I can't even remember.
I
But yeah,
don't know.
that's,
They all run
It's Murfreesboro.
yeah, that was the backup plan. That one works too. You know, since I work in physical security, I look for people like you, Rick. Every
I
day.
don't know what to say. I have no comments.
No doubt. Grant, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Grant.
having me.
Everything that you guys are going to be doing soon, and it's amazing what people you brought so far. It is. And I think we've enjoyed
Thank
it
you
all.
guys for showing up. Everyone watching, thank you for keep showing up and supporting us while we do these crazy kooky things to make Comic Shop, more fun. So, hey, if it's not fun, we must be doing it wrong. So yeah, it's thank you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And Rick's launch party over there, I know he had a good time. It was awesome. It was awesome.
And please see us at Heroes Con.
Yeah. We're gonna throw the cans over to Nirvana's booth so we can talk to him.
Yep.
All right, guys, rooting for y'all. Everybody have a good week. Wish us a safe trip, and we will see you all next Thursday.
See you in a few minutes, Brad.
Yeah, exactly. See you guys.
See you guys.